Welcome back to the Bears Baseball Network. We have the August Award Show showcasing the best players here in the first month of fall ball. Very, very impressive. We are witnessing one of the best hitting seasons of all time, one of the best pitching seasons of all time, and we've had some very, very impressive performances here in the month of August. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, starting with our major August awards. And we have here the hitters of the month. At youth and high school, Rudy Montenegro Langley continues a historic season, one of the best hitting seasons of all time. And how about two catchers being the hitters of the month here at youth and high school? Joey Burgess alongside Rudy Montenegro Langley. Two catchers. I've said for a long time, go back in the old BBN episodes, I've said that the most rare thing in baseball is a catcher who can hit. So when you get a catcher who can hit, you never let go of them. And Rudy and Joey Burgess are not just two catchers who can hit, they are two catchers who are dominant at the plate. Very, very impressive. We'll look a little deeper into their numbers a little bit later. On the pitching side, Whedon Hainline, the pitcher of the month here at the youth level, and Mason Geddes, who's putting up one of the best pitching seasons in the history of the Bears. He is our high school Cy Young here for the month of August. Let's go ahead and look a little bit closer here at Rudy Montenegro Langley. 1934 OPS, 4 homers. That led all players in the month of August. This guy, 4th time being named hitter of the month in his career. I mean, just a historic season for Rudy Montenegro Langley. He's got a very good chance to be the all-time single-season home run record holder when it's all said and done. I mean, this guy is putting up numbers we've never seen before. Looking at some of the runners up here, Lucas Closter, a 600 batting average. Very, very impressive. One of the best hitters in the month of August. And I think Lucas Closter has had a very underrated season. Obviously, when you look at these monthly awards, when he's competing against Rudy Montenegro Langley, it's very tough for him to get for him to win the Hitter of the Month award. But he's been in the top 3 several times. Lucas Closter has put up a very, very nice season. And Blake Nickerson, his first time being eligible for awards. He's finally moved into 11U. It's crazy to think that Blake is just for the first time getting a chance to win some MVP awards as he's finally moved out of the youth prep program and into the Bears Youth Awards. He comes up 3rd place in his first season, his first month here with award eligibility, a 1457 OPS, a 632 batting average that led all players in the month of August. Very, very impressive. Moving on here to the August Pitcher of the Month at the youth level, it's Whedon Hainline. First time being named Pitcher of the Month, and that surprised me when I looked at it because Whedon Hainline's been a good pitcher for a long time, but what really set his August apart from some of the other months in his career, he's always been one of the best strike throwers in the Bears. The walk rate is always incredibly low, but 2 areas that were both very impressive this month. First of all, one of the most underappreciated stats when it comes to youth baseball is innings pitched. If you can have a pitcher who goes out there and can throw a lot of innings for you, obviously these guys are all under pitch limits. They're all, competing with sometimes subpar defenses. And Whedon's able to go out there and eat innings every single weekend. 14.1 innings pitched, led all pitchers in the month of August. 10-1 strikeout to walk ratio is incredible. But the real thing that stands out is the ERA. Typically, you don't get low ERAs when you get this young. Typically, you don't get low ERAs when you throw as many strikes as Whedon does. But that is a testament to how good he was this month. A very, very impressive 2.09 ERA for Whedon Hainline. Very, very impressed by him. Hunter Finley comes in 2nd place. The 10 innings pitched, 1.4 ERA, very much stands out. Again, a guy who's always been a great strike thrower. Can he keep runs off the board? And Hunter Finley proven that he can, even pitching a very tough schedule. And Camden Kinsey coming in 3rd place. Again, his first time being eligible for awards. One of the best youth prep pitchers we've ever seen. Camden Kinsey getting things started here with 3rd place in the August Cy Young Award. Let's move into the high school hitter of the month. Joey Burgess, 3 homers, led all high school players. 1647 OPS, led all high school players. And a 586 batting average, led all high school players. Essentially a triple crown of the high school August awards. Very, very impressive from him. And in 2nd place there, that should be Evan Lancaster. I forgot to change the name there. Sorry about that. Should be Evan Lancaster who comes in Or I'm sorry, that's actually Logan Eckert who comes in at second place for the hitter of the month. Yeah, sorry about that. Forgot to change the name from the previous graphic. That's Logan Eckert. 2 homers for him. Logan Eckert, you think of as being historically a very dominant pitcher, showing it off on the offensive side here as Logan Eckert puts together a very nice month at the plate. And then in third place, it's Neifri Kabarkis. He's back, and he's putting up big-time numbers here in August. A 690 OBP. This guy's getting on base 70% of the time and also doing it with some power as well. Neifri Kabarkis, a very impressive month. And I got to tell you, Joey Burgess, I mean, second time being named hitter of the month. I think this guy's got a chance here to be the fall MVP, probably competing with some of his teammates for that award, but very, very impressive stuff from him. And finally, we move on here to the pitcher of the month, Mason Geddes. Look at the strikeout to walk right there. In just 11 innings, 21 strikeouts, just 6 walks. I mean, this is a guy who's putting up one of the most dominant seasons we've ever seen. He's striking out over 40% of the batters he's faced for the season, not just in August, for the entire season. He's third-time pitcher of the month. Very, very impressive for him. Evan Lancaster, there he is in second place. I knew he was second place in one of the awards. 17-8 strikeout to walk, 3.93 ERA, and 10.2 innings. Very impressive stuff. Evan Lancaster's put up a very impressive season on the mound. Been overshadowed a little bit maybe in the accolade standpoint by Mason Geddes, but Evan Lancaster putting up his best pitching season. Very, very impressive stuff from him. And then Andrew Willeret coming in third place. Only 8.1 innings, only 2 weekends for the 18U guys. So Andrew was a little bit behind in the innings pitch category, but when he did pitch, 11 strikeouts, 3 walks. Very, very impressive stuff for him. Let's go ahead and move into the August All-Stars. You already see some of our award winners there. Blake Nickerson was top 3. Obviously, Lucas Closer, top 3. Rudy Montenegro Langley won the award. Let's talk about some of these other guys, starting with Peter Rojek. He's another one of those guys who was in the youth prep program for a long time, was ineligible for these awards. He's an all-star for the first month that he's eligible for it. Brooks Biddle has put up a very impressive month for that 12U team, hit a home run, and has really been leading the offense for that squad. Looking down the list here, Hamilton Case, what a month he put together. He's been the second best hitter on that 13U Floyd team all month long, right behind Lucas Closter. And if you really look at the second half of 2025 so far, Hamilton Case has been absolutely dominant with the bat. One of those guys who's a very young 12U player playing 13U, and he's been dominating with the bat. Very impressive from him. Harrison Bleibom, we see him on this list almost every month. He's there again, but Alex Vo with the bat has been very impressive in the month of August. He's showing himself as a dominant player on all 3 sides of the ball, hitting, pitching, and defense. Alex Vo, an all-star once again. Landon Portell and Owen Weibrecht have been the heart and soul of that 15U Floyd team. They're all-stars once again, and you see, we already talked about the 16U guys. Looking down there at 18U, Bruce Portell has been very impressive both offensively and on the mound. Bruce has maybe one of the biggest hitters, one of the biggest hits of the entire August. Had a huge game-winning double in the last inning a couple weekends ago. He's been a very impressive force both on the mound and at the plate. Very, very impressive stuff from Bruce Portell. Congratulations to all of our August All-Stars. And let's finish up here with our August All-Rookie team. Starting with the Rookie of the Month, it is Miles Shawacker. He was the number 1 prospect, and he, for good reason, this guy has been racking up the numbers. A monster offensive season in OPS. Over 1,400. He's been very impressive as a home run, has a couple doubles. And defensively, maybe the most impressive part of this game has been the defense, but he's been doing it on all sides of the ball. Miles Shawacker, he has been the most impressive rookie we have seen so far. Brady Felton was the runner-up. Big-time power bat. Needs to put together the rest of his game to be a more complete player, but the ceiling is very, very high, and I have no doubts he will be a Rookie of the Month at some point before the year is said and done. Let's talk about some of these other names, maybe a little bit lesser known. Jack Anderson. He's a guy very, very raw coming in, has a long way to go in his baseball development, but already showing some promise. He's been a top team player pretty consistently. I know Damien really likes him for that 11U age, and I think Jack Anderson has the very high potential going forward. So very, very impressive stuff for him. Camden Kraft has very quickly become one of my favorite players in the Bears, a left-handed hitter and pitcher at the plate. Maybe a little bit more passive than you could hope, but when he does swing, he's putting up big numbers, hitting 500, and on the mound, the ceiling is absolutely through the roof. I think when you look at this entire 12U Floyd pitching staff, nobody's got a higher ceiling than Camden Kraft. Camden Kramer has already come in and hit a home run. This guy, I think, has been very, very impressive with the bat. Again, I think maybe a little bit more passive than you would hope, but when he does swing, it's a big, powerful swing, and he's already shown that with a over-the-fence home run. Camden Kramer, very impressive. Jackson Eder, this is a guy who's really come out of nowhere, a guy who, and so I say this all the time, and some people take it as a backhanded compliment, but I actually think it's an inspiring compliment. Jackson Eder is a much better player than he looks. When you look at Jackson Eder, you think, maybe this guy could turn into something, but he's actually a very scrappy player right now. I think Jackson Eder, the bat is already top team caliber, needs to put together some defense, needs to find a position on the field, but his hitting is already top team caliber, very, very impressive. Another guy who's become one of my favorite rookies has been Luke Coert. This is a guy who works his butt off at practice, and again, I think the bat is already close to top team ready. It's tough when you're looking at these 14U rookies because obviously to get on that 14U varsity team is maybe a little bit higher standard than some of these other varsity teams. I think Luke Coert already has a top team caliber bat, kind of like Jackson Eder, just needs to find a position on the field. Jacob Appelhans, a very nice month here, putting up the numbers on the Burn squad, still needing to find his place there on the Burn Still squad, but Appelhans, I think, a very high potential. Tanner Odell has come in and dominated. He's been very impressive at the plate. Haven't gotten to see a lot of him on the defensive side of the ball, but at the plate, Tanner Odell been putting time big together at bats. When you talk about some of these guys who need to be more aggressive, need to swing harder, Tanner Odell does not have that problem. This guy goes up trying to hit the crap out of the ball every single time he swings, and he's hit some very hard hit balls, had a couple big hits already in his young Bear career. And finally, Lucas Parrish, here mostly for his pitching, but I think the offensive upside is up there as well. Lucas Parrish put together a very nice month for his first time here in a Bear uniform. That's going to do it for this episode of the Bears Baseball Network. We'll continue with all the coverage of Bears baseball as the month goes on, but that's going to do it for this episode, and we'll talk to y'all next week.